The Real Mccoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real Mccoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he's made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Come on, Amos, it's your move.
Stop rushing me, George.
I ain't rushing you, but you ain't made a move in 20 minutes, and I ain't said a solitary word.
I didn't say you was rushing me then. I said you was rushing me now.
Woo, Grandpa, you sure were right.
Of course it was, Luke. What about?
The price of corn, it's going up every day. And the way we staggered our crops, we ought to take in about $300-400 through the year.
Amos, how'd you know corn prices was going up?
Smelled it.
Smelled it? How can you smell a rising price in the market? Why, that's impossible.
Went up, didn't it?
Yeah, but, should have planted some this year myself, huh?
Oh, you sure should have, George. Strawberries is coming up, too. Oh, this looks like it's going to be a pretty fine year.
It's a shame we didn't make the strawberry rows closer together. We could have had twice as big a crop.
You can't mash them together, Pepina. Nobody wants to buy long, skinny strawberries.
But, Senor Grandpa, when I was in Mexico...
Well, you ain't in Mexico now.
That's it!
You don't take it.
George. Thanks.
It's your move.
Hi. Thanks again.
George, it don't sound like that cold of yours is getting any better.
Well, I was feeling pretty good till I come over here.
You know, maybe you're sitting in a draft.
You're sitting in the same place he's been sitting for years. Go ahead and move, George.
Thank you, Senora Kate. Senor Grandpa, I give you my personal guarantee the strawberry will not be long and skinny. I have many very good ideas about farming, and someday I'm going to prove it to you.
Now, Pepina, I ain't never tried to tell you how to play that goddamn guitar of yours, nor fry them tortillas and such like. So I don't want you to try to tell me how to farm.
I was only trying to help.
Well, the best way to help is to hush up so George can't say he could have won the game if it wasn't so goddamn noisy. What'd you say?
I said Gesundheit.
What for?
See?
Well, as long as you got that white hanky out, George, why don't you just wave it and surrender?
I never give up until the last checker's gone.
Well, that ain't fur off, George. Oh, darn it, George. Why don't you kick the table over and get yourself off the hook?
I ain't sneezing deliberate, Amos.
How about a hot cider toddy and a little honey, George? That might kind of ease it down a bit.
No, thanks, Luke. I think I better... I think... I best go... I best go home.
Now, George, you don't have to do that. I was going to let you win.
Grandpa, you stop.
You know, maybe you ought to give your doctor a call, George.
Yeah. Yeah. Night, everybody.
Night.
Grandpa, after George being your best friend for 5 years, I think you'd get tired of teasing him like you do.
Yeah, I thought so too, Kate, but just as much fun as it ever was.
What's the bad news, Doc?
I wouldn't worry, George.
Are you going to stick me with something?
Nothing more painful than my bill. You're in fine shape.
Well, now, that's a load off my mind.
But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to do a series of allergy tests on you.
Allergy tests?
The body reacts violently to a severe attack of sneezing, George. And a man of your age, well, as I said, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to find out what's been causing those spasms.
Well, Doc, I ain't had a tickle since last night. Come on in.
The kitchen door was open.
Oh, come in, Amos. You know Doc Ross from the clinic?
Oh, yeah, hi. Yes, sir. Well, I was right, wasn't I?
Right about what?
Well, there ain't nothing wrong with you. You don't look no worse than you ever did.
Well, it just so happens I got me a pretty serious allergy.
Is it expensive? I ain't never heard of it.
Body reacts abnormally because of contact with a foreign substance. That's a form of allergy.
Oh, well, I'm glad to find out you're really sick, George.
Just what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, if you're really sick, you can get yourself cured. But they ain't never invented no pill for sore losing.
Sore losing? Why, you miserable old geezer, you...
All right, George.
Oh! Okay, you promised me I wouldn't have to get stabbed.
This won't hurt a bit. I'm just going to take a small sample of your blood.
Yeah, but that thing's long enough to skewer a goat. It'll go clean through me.
Look at him, a grown man is scared of a little pinprick.
Now, George.
Oh, no, not that.
Oh, Lord.
What was it?
I suppose it beats falling out of a window.
Are you all right, Mr. McCoy?
Oh, I'm just fine. Only ain't it a bit close in here?
Well, I'll look into you later this afternoon, George. I may have some results on these tests by then.
George, I brought the checkerboard along. I thought maybe we'd play a couple of games of checkers.
Hey, shit!
You didn't have to do that, George. I was going to leave you a win. Take it easy, George.
Hey, shit!
You're turning some mighty peculiar colors.
Hey, shit!
You going to stick him again, Doc?
Yes, antihistamine.
Let me get out. I just can't stand to see him suffer.
Hey, shit!
Oh, how is he, Doc?
He's fine now. He's resting.
Yeah, you know, it's just pitiful the way them fits hits him. The minute he gets a whip to the checkerboard, he's just like his head just goes off.
Checkerboard?
Yeah. I've been beating George at checkies for so many years, he just can't stand it no more. It's the smell of being beat that gets in his nose, makes him sneeze that way.
Mr. McCoy, I just can't quite believe that these attacks are psychosomatic.
Huh?
In his head.
Well, what did he smell that made him sneeze then?
I don't know. He was perfectly all right till you arrived.
Well, now, Doc, me and George have been friends for 5 years. And I don't smell no different now than I did when he first met me.
Mr. McCoy, body chemistries change every day. And I'd rather not overlook any possibility. Would you submit to a few simple tests?
Tests? What kind of tests?
Well, I'd like to start with a sample of your blood.
My blood?
Yes.
Well, I guess if it's important, you can have it.
Well, thank you.
Now, hold on a minute. I cut myself from day to day on the farm, and in the next time I bleed a little, I'll give you a call.
No. It doesn't quite work that way. See, I'll have to take a little blood from your arm with a hypodermic.
Hypodermy? You mean one of them things you stuck into George?
Yes, it's simple.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, Doc. No.
I assure you there's no discomfort.
No, I just can't do it. It ain't that I'm a selfish man, but I need every drop of blood I got.
But you'll never miss it.
Oh, yes, I will, too. I've had a long time, and I'm used to it. I give you my word, though, Doc. All I got to do is stop playing checkies with George, and he'll never sneeze again.
Mr. McCoy, believe me.
No, but I don't believe you, Doc.
All right, Mr. McCoy, we'll try your theory first. But if it doesn't work...
Then you can pump me dry, and I'll prove that I'm right. Now, tonight's our regular checking night. When George comes over, I'll make the big sacrifice. We won't play checkies. We'll do something else. And I tell you what I'll do. I'll bet you he won't even sniff her.
All right, Mr. McCoy. I'll be in touch with you.
Okay, Doc.
Grandpa, I thought you and George give up playing checkers.
We has, but I ain't. I just thought I'd have a little game by myself here before George gets here. He'd never get himself out of this one. I'd be whipping and sneezing all over the place.
Hi, everybody. Oh, George, come on in. How you feeling?
Oh, fine.
It's nice of you to come over, George, and just sit and talk and not play checkies.
Grandpa, I left some snacks in the kitchen for you.
Thank you, Kate.
Well, see you later. Yeah, have a good time.
Night.
What you been doing, Amos?
Oh, just fiddling around. Just don't pay no mind now. You want to sit right down. Be comfortable now.
Thanks, Amos.
Sure nice to see you, George.
Well, it's nice to see you too, Amos.
watch some television?
No, thanks.
That's all right.
Can't hardly make out what's playing in that 6-inch screen of yours. No offense, Amos.
George, bear down now, George. Try not to think about it. How about something to eat?
Good idea, Amos. Keep my mind off of the...
George, what did you do?
I'm sorry, Amos. I just happened to be strolling down the far end of the room, and it was like I was powerless to stop myself. And I saw him moving. I made it.
Just pitiful, pitiful.
I must be some kind of a checkerholic.
Plain ain't got no willpower. What do you mean you seen him move?
Well, I seen him moving the board, and
There wasn't no move in that board that you could have made.
Well, I found one.
But it ain't possible, especially for such a miserable checky player as you.
No, just a minute.
Easy now, George. Easy now. Don't forget it. Now, forget I said anything, George. Forget it. We forget the chickies. You see, here, have some fine cake, huh? Here, George.
Thanks.
There now, is it going away?
Yeah, fine.
Good, good. Anything else you want?
Got any milk?
Yeah, it's in the icebox.
I'll get it, Amos. I'll get it.
Yep, right there. He moved. Fell right into the trap.
Amos!
Now, George. Now, George, don't come here. Get hold of yourself, George. There ain't nothing here but defense. Well, I'll be dogged. Oh, no, George. But you want honest and fair, George. Cut that out now. You'll have that doctor coming over here poking me full of holes. George, you're just sneezing the blood right out of my veins.
Now, you just relax and hold still, Mr. McCoy. This will only take a few seconds.
Now, ain't you got a small needle, Doc? I ain't that white. I'm the whitest part.
I promise you, you'll feel practically nothing at all.
Grandpa!
I'm sorry, Doc.
Oh, forgive me for shouting like that.
I mashed the dog's toe into the rocker.
That took me by surprise.
Anything else you need, Doc?
No, thank you. I'll do a blood analysis on this, and I'll test dust particles on your clothing. I'll let you know the results.
You're fine, Doc. And in the meantime, you better have that toe looked after. Oh, come on, Pepino. Ain't you got them hands fed yet?
I'm preparing the lunch right now, Senor Grandpa.
Yeah, well, go easy on that oyster shell. That costs money.
Si, Senor. But in Mexico...
Look, I told you I ain't interested in what you've done in Mexico. Now, come on, get going, get going.
Grandpa? Oh, sorry to interrupt you. Doc Ross wants to talk to you. It's really important.
Oh, hi, Doc. What's on your mind?
The results of your test came in this morning. We know what it is that George is allergic to.
Well, what is it?
Corn pollen.
Corn pollen? In my blood?
No, in your clothes. And in the clothes of everyone who's been out in that cornfield.
I don't get it.
Well, it's simple, Grandpa. George is allergic to our corn.
It's the pollen that's been making him sneeze.
Well, I'll be dogged. You don't make no sense to me, Doc, but if you say so, I'll take your word for it. Anyways, we're picking our corn in a couple of days, and George won't have to sneeze no more.
But, Grandpa, we stagger planted, so we'll be getting corn all year. As soon as one crop's ripe, the next acre's pollinating.
Well, you mean George will be sneezing for a whole year?
Mr. McCoy, George can't stand many more of these attacks.
Grandpa, what Dr. Ross is trying to say is, well, George can't stay around here no more.
Your farms border each other. The air will eventually be full of pollen, and the winds will continually carry it to George's house.
Does George know about this?
Yes, he does. I told him this morning.
You mean either the corn goes or George goes? Well, he can't ask us to rip out a whole crop, a whole year's work.
Grandpa, George ain't asked us to do a thing.
Well, I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to take the food right out of my family's mouth for a couple of checky games a week. I'm going over there and settle this right now.
No, Grandpa, take it easy.
Mr. McCoy, try to avoid close contact with him.
Don't worry. I ain't going over to put nothing in his nose. I'm going over to get an ID out of his head. George! Oh, George! In there?
Oh, hi, Amos.
Now, listen, George. I want to talk to you a minute.
Well, I'm awful busy, Amos. I got a lot of packing to do.
I just want to speak my piece, then I'll get back to my place. And then... Packing? What you mean, packing?
I'm taking a little trip.
Trip? Where to?
Oh, just here and there.
Ain't it kind of sudden, just going off like that?
No, I always wanted to go to Europe and look around.
Europe? You want to go off all by yourself amongst them foreigners for a whole year?
Said nothing about a whole year, Amos. Besides, I get the right to go where I want to and stay as long as I want to. I can't just stay around here the rest of my life and be bored to death.
Yeah. I guess it ain't too exciting around here.
Yeah, nice seeing new places and meeting new people.
Yeah, I guess when you're rich, old friends don't mean much.
Amos, they do too.
Well, if they do, why then would you be running off like this? Especially if you don't have to. Now, I've been thinking, George, and me and Luke's been talking, and...
Now, Amos, I ain't gonna let you talk me out of my vacation.
But, George...
I ain't gonna waste the rest of my life just sitting around here playing checkers and making chit-chat over nothing at all. I get itchy feet. I get a wanderlust.
Well, if you feel that way, George...
That's the way I feel.
Will you call us up on the telephone and say goodbye?
If I think of it, Amos.
Well, have a good time for yourself, George, and take real good care of that scrawny old carcass of yours.
Yeah.
Okay. You too, Amos. Luke?
Yeah, Grandpa?
Go out into the cornfield, pick what's ripe, and plow the rest on it.
But you said we couldn't do that.
Never mind what I said.
Grandpa, did you see George?
Yes, I seen him.
What'd he say?
Don't make no difference what he said. He don't want to leave here no more than I do. And I ain't going to send him off into the great unknown on account of no corn or nothing else. We'll plant another crop of squash or beans or something.
Or pumpkins, maybe.
Or even potatoes or beets.
Right. Get the pin and shuck all the years it can be saved and leave the rest go to... Well, just leave the rest go.
Grandpa.
Senor Grandpa! Senor Grandpa!
Stop wailing like a banshee.
I'm sorry, Senor Grandpa. It's just that I am excited. Look at this. Isn't it beautiful? Magnificent.
Look, I know what corn looks like. I've been looking at it all my life.
Pino, Grandpa's not feeling too well right now.
I'm sorry, Senor Grandpa, but maybe this will make you feel better. In 5 years, we've never had bigger corn. Firm and sweet as sugar.
Get him out of here, will you, Kate, before I do something I'm sorry for?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. But when you feel better later and you look at that ear of corn, remember, that's not your corn. That's my corn. Mexican corn. I planted it with seeds my cousin sent me from Chihuahua. I did it to surprise you.
To show you that I'm a farmer, too.
Peppino, come in here. You don't look like our corn. Don't feel like our corn.
It don't smell like our corn.
Don't taste like our corn either. It's sweeter and juicier.
What did I tell you?
How much of this stuff did you plant?
About a third of an acre.
Where'd you plant it?
Well, at the edge of our farm near the fence that borders Senor Mccoys' property.
Grandpa?
You suppose this can be it, Kate?
It's gotta be, Grandpa.
Do you like it?
I love it.
Then we pick it?
We'll destroy it.
Destroy it?
Every last ear.
What happened, Amos? What is it?
George, take a sniff. A great big lungful of a sniff now.
What are you talking about?
Breathe, God, Johnny, breathe.
What's got into you anyways?
You ain't sneezing.
No.
Now try again, George.
Guys, take it away. And
Gesundheit, George. Gesundheit. That ain't our corn, it's Peppino's. He grown that, and that's what's making you sneeze.
that ain't your corn?
Really? No, it ain't. So you don't have to go off by yourself to Europe and be miserable and all alone. And Luke don't have to... Luke, oh, for pity's sake, Luke.
Thanks, Amos. Cheese and I for game checkers. I just...